3 months into a tense and escalating conflict with Iran, modern U.S. leadership began making some very confident promises. They claimed any military operation would be wrapped up ahead of schedule, a matter of weeks, maybe even 2 or 3 days. This strategy relies on a specific assumption, that the Iranian regime is brittle. It suggests that when faced with overwhelming American economic and military pressure, their leadership will simply fold rather than fight. But projecting a generic quick strike formula onto Iran ignores a massive, documented reality. We are dealing with a nation that has a highly specific track record of enduring unparalleled devastation. Instead of guessing how Iran might react today, we can look at the historical record. We know precisely what it took to push them to the limit the last time they were backed into a corner. Comparing the current expectation of a short war against that historical threshold suggests that American planners are preparing for an adversary that bears little resemblance to the one that actually exists. The year was 1980. The Islamic Revolution had just upended Iran, and next door, Iraq's new dictator, Saddam Hussein, saw an opening. Eager to assert his dominance over the region, he launched a brutal, illegal invasion across the Iranian border. What Saddam expected to be a swift conquest rapidly became a horrific, decade-long slog. The conflict resurrected the worst of World War I, barbaric trench warfare and massive casualties that stretched on for years. By 1982, the tide turned. Iranian forces gained the upper hand, and the Reagan administration grew terrified they would push all the way to the oil fields of Kuwait and Saudi Arabia. In response, Washington began a secret tilt toward Iraq to prevent an Iranian victory at any cost. Preventing an Iranian victory became such an existential priority for Washington that the U.S. was willing to align with an aggressive dictator to maintain the regional balance of power. That alignment deepened into active complicity. The U.S. began providing military intelligence to Iraq, even after confirming that Saddam was attacking Iranian troops and Kurdish allies with horrific chemical weapons. The violence reached an apocalyptic scale. In 1988, Iraq attacked the Kurdish village of Halabja with poison gas, killing an estimated 5,000 civilians instantly, and leaving 10,000 more blinded, injured, or severely debilitated. When Iran tried to get the United Nations to intervene, American diplomats actively convinced the Security Council to water down its condemnation. They issued a general statement against chemical weapons that purposefully avoided naming Iraq as the culprit, leaving Iran isolated on the world stage. The human cost was staggering. Over 8 years of fighting, an estimated 1 million Iranians were killed. The Iranian leadership treated the defense of their revolution as a holy mandate, continuing the war effort long after the costs became objectively unsustainable for a modern state. This resilience proved that the regime prioritizes its ideological survival over its infrastructure or the lives of its citizens. By the year 1988, Iran's global isolation was absolute. In July, the U.S. military accidentally shot down an Iranian passenger plane, killing over 250 people, including 60 children. The United States offered no remorse. Then Vice President George H.W. Bush famously stated, "I'll never apologize for the United States of America, ever. I don't care what the facts are." Only after facing total global abandonment, chemical genocide, and 1 million dead, did Ayatollah Khomeini finally agree to a ceasefire. He publicly compared the decision to drinking poison. The regime only reached its limit when the alternative was absolute apocalyptic annihilation against a unified world order. That total isolation of 1988 does not exist today. In the current geopolitical reality, it is often the U.S. and its regional allies who face growing international friction, not just Iran. Modern military planners are expecting a nation that survived a decade of chemical warfare to somehow capitulate in a matter of days or weeks. This historical amnesia is a catastrophic miscalculation. Assuming a quick victory ignores that this adversary is built to endure a level of destruction most nations cannot imagine.